Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Now today we are taking a look at another 1/6 scale Homelander. This one is by Toysworks and they've called it the Republican. Now I got mine from toyswonderland.com. I have popped the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video. This is a review on a figure I picked up for my own personal collection. While you're down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. I remember when this guy was announced, people were saying, another day, another Homelander, what's new? But I do have high hopes for this one, because it does have ties to another third-party Homelander that has got a lot of people very excited, including me. Up front, we have the Homelander eagle symbol. We also have a bunch of mini eagles making up the pattern of his suit on the front of the box in navy blue. Then front and center, the Republican in this gold foil text. On the side of the box, this disheveled US flag, and it does say Made in the USA. Don't let that fool you, it's not made in the USA, not sure why that's there, but yes, it's made in China. As it says, plain as day right here, along with all the other warnings and legal info. We do have a Toysworks logo and an image of Homelander's cape, once again looking quite disheveled. For those who aren't in the know about the various third-party companies and their pseudonyms, Toysworks is also Toysera. And Premium Toys is also Toysera, so is Flashpoint and Infamous and Thunder Toys as well. So that should give you a rough idea as to how this Homelander connects to the other third-party one. First in-hand impressions though, you know what? They're pretty good. Is it just me or is this guy not terrible? I was really worried based off the promo pics, he looked nasty. But now that I'm seeing him in hand, I can't deny, so far I'm pretty impressed. Now, to hammer that connection home with the Premium Toys one even further, for some reason Toysera, they done goofed. They accidentally included the instruction manual for the Premium Toys figure. Plus, there's this big crater, and I assume that's where the other 5 head sculpts would be, with the other version. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box, and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, it's very simple. It's rectangular, there is no nameplate, which is a good thing because you can install your own. Imagine if it said the Republican. Wouldn't have been ideal. We do have this cracked rough surface up on top. It's a 2D print. And then of course a regular crotch grabber. It would have been awesome to see a swap out flight pole, but Toysworks, they do like to keep it pretty simple. So simple, in fact, that the only other accessories we get are some hands. Now, they genuinely look like shrunk down red leather gloves. There's a convincing leather grain texture on the surface, and a bunch of wrinkling. Then, to highlight all that sculpted detail, some washers in the crevices. They're also made of this super soft rubber, so no need to grab the hairdryer, they will pop right in super easy. We do get some unique gestures, such as thumbs up. Feel free to hit that button, I am so sorry, and a pointing finger. What we are going to do now though is get Homelander himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Toysworks, well done. I didn't think they were going to be able to pull this off. Now, he isn't perfect, don't get me wrong, but he does tick a lot of my boxes. Starting off with the body. The proportions genuinely look like a real person. It's not overdone, it's not comical, it looks like Homelander from the show. The outfit is fully padded, just like the suit in The Boys, and the colour scheme is much more dark and dingy as compared to the Star Race version, which was straight up comic style. It was very bright and colourful. This is more serious in tone. The cape drapes well, and the head sculpt is the icing on the cake. This is the one thing I thought they weren't going to be able to do, but they have. Even from a distance, you can tell this is Homelander. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Homelander's head sculpt. Now, it's not perfect, it's not a Hot Toys level head sculpt, especially when it comes to the paint, but it is drastically better than the Star Race one. I guess if you are starting at the bottom of the barrel, anything that's slightly better is a huge upgrade. But genuinely, I really like this head sculpt. I think it looks just like Anthony's star. The skin texture is subtle, but it's absolutely there. We do have this 5 o'clock shadow, and I dig the expression. There's a little bit of a snarl. You can tell he's up to no good. The hair also is on point. Now, my only complaint is, why was the paint on the neck not properly sealed? So, out of the box, I haven't done any posing. The paint on the neck is starting to rub. Now, when you have him at a neutral position, it's not visible, but really, ToysWorks, that shouldn't be happening. Now, don't forget, this head sculpt also has a gimmick. Yeah, totally works. LEDs have turned on, no problem. I like the red, but I don't necessarily love the visible pupils. The reason they painted them in such opaque paint rather than going translucent, though, is his eyes, they're a piercing blue in the show, so if they had gone any lighter with the paint, they wouldn't be as visible. Now, as you can tell, the lights, they time out, and if you want to turn them back on, it's goofy as hell. You're supposed to just be able to tap the head sculpt, but as you can tell, that's not working. The easiest way I've found to do it is to give this head sculpt a solid thumping. You literally have to thwack it, and then the LEDs will turn back on. Now, I love the fact that it has a touch sensor, but it should have been more sensitive, because having to smash your figure on the head every time you want to turn them on is not ideal. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the cape. I love the material choice. It's this beautiful, flowing, draping, lightweight fabric, but the finish is kind of terrible. The stripes have this awful blurry yellow edge, the stars aren't very crispy either, and the hemming was done by someone who doesn't care at all. The edges along the side also pretty rough. So while I like certain aspects about the cape, there's no denying it could definitely be better. Okay, Justin, you like the head sculpt, you gave the cape a pass, kinda. What about the body and the outfit? Well, for the most part, I like it. But once again, it's not perfect. The suit is this rubbery style fabric, and there is a hell of a lot of padding. The biceps padded, the pecs padded, the abs also padded. Now, does that impact articulation? Well, we will find out a little bit later. Also, the stitching is kinda bulky and a little bit ugly. Some people have also said that the collar is inaccurate to the show, and the color is a little bit too dark. For me, I like the color and I like all the padding. But it's down to personal preference. Just because I like it doesn't mean you have to. Also, unfortunately, you can't peel back this front panel, which in the show he's been known to do. He does have these big honkin' eagles on his shoulders and the belt, which is done in the same finish, this gold with some patina wash on the surface. He then has split cut designs for his gauntlets and his boots, but we'll get there in just a second. And you can tell when the light hits all the metallic pieces, they gleam quite nicely. Is this going to be a gleaming review? I am so sorry. Maybe we'll have to find out later on. Now his pants, if you want to call them that, because it's kind of a one-piece bodysuit, they're finished in the same way as the upper torso. We've got the mini eagles printed on the surface with this rubbery finish, and you can see a bunch more padding. I actually like seeing all this musculature through the suit, even though it may be dialed up a little bit too far. It's kind of like Homelander with RTX on. Then coming down to his boots, like I said just before, a split-cut boot design. Thank you, ToysWorks, we now have maximum range of motion, unlike the Star Race one, which was a big hunk of sculpted plastic. The eagles look good, there's a zipper sculpted down the side, and a bunch of wrinkling and leather-like texture. There are washers on the texture as well, so it brings out all of that awesome detail. On the underside, some sculpted tread. Wait a second, just before we get to comparisons, it's head swap time. I did want to try out the custom V-Dot Collectibles head sculpt on the ToysWorks body, and now that I have, it looks just okay. I love the head sculpt in isolation. I think it looks just like Homelander, and it's painted beautifully by Rodman. Way better than the stock head sculpt. But on this body, I actually don't think it works as well as the stock one. It looks a little bit too big potentially, the neck is slightly too thick and maybe a little bit short. Do let me know which of the two head sculpts you prefer down below. For a quick side-by-side comparison, I'm genuinely having flashbacks to that Star Race Homelander review. I might just have PTSD. Now, on the left we have the Republican and on the right, So Toys Butcher. Is this a perfect pair? almost. I reckon these two look great together. Homelander is taller, and this time they complement each other beautifully. Now, I know, we're all waiting for the So-So Toys Homelander, me included. I can't wait to get it. Will it one-up the Toys Works one? We'll have to wait and see. Whoever is in charge of licensing the boys to Star Race, no, absolutely no. This thing is a downright figure crime. The cape, the body, the proportions, the head sculpt, the color of the outfit, the boots, the gloves, just no's across the board. It pretty much looks like the Toys Works one is a Hot Toys figure alongside a cheap knockoff for Star Race. Going over articulation, do bear in mind this is my personal copy, so I'm going to be just a touch more careful. Starting off with the head sculpt, it's on an articulated neck with a ball peg down below and a double ball peg up above. Looking up to there, decent for flight poses, looking down to there, swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back on soft ratchets, butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down, swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow going just past 90, then a regular hinge and swivel for the wrist peg. The torso does crunch forward and back and hold, even though there's a decent amount of rubbery padding, swivel and pivot. The legs will go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, ratcheted double bend at the knee going past 90, then a split cut boot design with a double ball peg for the ankle, for forward and back pivot and swivel. Wrapping up on Toys Works the Republican, aka Homelander from the boys. Like I said earlier, I was really worried about this guy. I had him on pre-order, but I kinda thought in the back of my mind, oh okay, it's not gonna be perfect, it's gonna be kinda terrible. Toys Works is like the step down from Toys era, the budget option. But boy, was I wrong, and I'm really happy I was. I don't ever want anyone to fail, I want them to succeed, because if they do succeed, then we are the winners. And in this instance, we definitely are. The body, the proportions, the suit, the drape of the cape, and that head sculpt, huge wins. But he's also not perfect. The articulation isn't great. There's also a lot of rubbery fabric here, so if you do go crazy with the posing, you do run the risk of damaging the suit. He also only comes with one head sculpt and not a ton of accessories. I like the LED light up feature, but having to bonk the figure on the head to turn it on, not ideal. Also, the printing and finish on the cape is quite rough. But everything else, this is a huge step up compared to Star Race. Star Race is immediately being retired after this review, and this guy is going in my boys collection until potentially the So-So one gets here. We do still have a couple more Homelanders to review on the channel, but so far so good. They keep getting better and better. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Do bear in mind, once again, this is an unlicensed, unofficial figure. I have popped the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video, this is a review on a figure I picked up for my own personal The Boys collection. While you are down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.